Good afternoon, Rotarians and friends. It is great to see you guys on this April 15th, Tax Day. On this warm day too. I think it might be 90 degrees, which in my opinion is way too early. For snow, no, way too early. I would love to see some more snow. But it's great to see all your smiling faces. I am Carrie Sommer, this year's president of the Rotary Club of Raleigh. Welcome to everybody on Zoom. If you could please, before we get started, join us in an invocation of pledge, and we have our Sergeant at Arms, or Club Admin Chair, Tommy Keller.
Thank you, guys. Glad to have all of you here this afternoon. By the way, we've got our handheld mic back, so if it's good or bad, please let us know so we can adjust the point. So anyway, if you bow your heads. Father, thank you for bringing us together for this group of Rotarians who comes to do good in the world and to look past ourselves, down the street, and find a friend to help. That our efforts would be directed into places that no one else is paying attention. That Rotary would touch people who otherwise are never consulted. And that the good that we do, although so often unseen, becomes part of who we are. And that we would join Rotary and make it an impact, not just in our community, but worldwide. Amen. Amen. Please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No singers.
No singers, so
So we have to do ROT.
that spells Rotary.
Okay. We have some wonderful guests here today, so I'm going to pass around the microphone. To start back here at Sommer's table. We just was inducted last week, but you have a special guest with you today. If you would like to stand up.
Good afternoon. My friend Christopher is with us today, and actually you're going to be hearing from him when I give the presentation.
Welcome, Christopher. Is that all the guests we have? Other than returning guests? Yeah, just here and here. And all y'all that are gonna be inducted and have readings today, you'll come up front in a little bit.
Two returning.
Hi, Chris McIntyre. I own the media network entertainment, the media company, and podcasting, music production, and audio production, and whatever else we related to. Thanks, guys.
Good afternoon, Judge Trevor, at the university that will be including consultations for Alliance Leadership Group in the RTP area. I'm excited to have interest in the application process. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you both for returning, and Joe, we're excited to see you up front for the upcoming meetings. All right, Frank McNally, you are on happy dollar duty again. Charlie Upshaw is down in Texas.
All right.
Visiting Rotary Club's down there.
You got something there.
Amy Carter, Self-Help Credit Union Branch Manager, Hartsville. Happy to be here today and to be becoming a member of the Rotary Club. Very, very honored to be privileged to do that with you guys. It means a lot to me. Hi y'all. I'm happy dollars because I'm in week 2 of my brand new job at TechnoServe, which is the nonprofit you've never heard of. We provide training and consulting to entrepreneurs at the bottom of the economic pyramid in 29 countries. So I'm glad to be a part of it and glad to not be talking about job with me.
Well, always have potatoes, so you got it.
Today happens to be a holiday in 3 states. Patriots Day in Maine and Massachusetts. I'm not about the makers of that. Today's running the Boston Marathon, and so I got my foot on.
Thank you very much.
Frank, I got a private spot here for my, Lady Gamecocks who went undefeated, won the national championship last week while I was out of town. And it was a heck of a run, and I hope they set a good example when I know this is unpopular, but I was really happy that you just took part. So.
Anybody else? All right, everybody pick up something for next week. Here we go. Oh, you get this.
Thank you, Frank. And I don't know if y'all know this, Charles King over there, he's wearing his Boston Marathon shirt because he ran and finished the Boston Marathon. So go chat about that. All right, Kurt Warner, could you join me up front, please?
Well, as opposed to the happy dollar, we have the sad dollars, which should bring a lot of money. Our friend and fellow Rotarian, the Chief Judge John Martin, died last Tuesday at his home at age 80. He was a native of Durham. You've read his obit, it's been sent around, a double deacon at Wake undergrad law school, first lieutenant in the military police in the Army, 67 to 69, served on the Durham City Council until becoming a Superior Court judge in 77, served for 7 years there, and then became a judge in the North Carolina Court of Appeals for 2 different runs. He's the first guy to serve non-consecutive terms in the Court of Appeals. And he served essentially from 85 to 88, and then 92 to 2014, where he served as the chief judge. Our fellow Rotarian and longtime clerk of court, John Cannell, noted that John Martin forged a legacy as one of the best and most influential judges ever to sit on this bench or any of our state's history. His body of work was remarkable, but his leadership set him apart. His first act when he was appointed chief judge was to secure better wages for the deputy clerks in the clerk's office and for the print shop staff. That's who runs the Court of Appeals, by the way. As my friend Buddy Westford said, John understood those who are essential to assuring the wheels of our judicial system turn on time and to assuring fair treatment to those who turn them. He expected prompt and reasoned decisions because that was the mission of the Court of Appeals and what the public expected. John Cannell also says that Chief Judge Martin was constant in reminding all court personnel, including his fellow judges, that the cases belong to the parties, not to the court. And he would tell them it is their case, it is their lives, and we owe it to them to get it done right, to get it done fast. His efforts led to decisions coming in less than half the then normal time, the fastest resolution related in the history of the court. The decisions had to be fairly made and reasoned. John counseled his fellow judges with this advice: yes, you belong to a political party, so do I. But you must leave behind your political ties if you hear a case. We are bound by our oath and our conscience to decide every case, without fear or favor. John Martin put his example of judicial independence behind what he asked of every judge with whom he served. That's the legacy of John Martin, a portrait of a public servant. North Carolina citizens are direct beneficiaries of John Martin's service to our state. He's also our great friend and our supportive Rotarian in our club. He rang bells, he cleaned streams, he was an active member. And he was a great guy and family man. He leaves his wife Margaret, 5 children, 9 grandchildren. He also joined me and many of us in a passion for Labrador retrievers and for Wrightsville Beach. Our friend John's funeral's this Friday, Friday the 26th at 11 at Christ Church here in town. We shall miss him greatly. Bye, John.
Thank you for that tribute to Judge Martin. The information on his memorial service is in this week's bulletin. And you can also go to Groundland Funeral Home and they have his obituary online, plus more information on the service arrangements. So continuing on the theme, I'm gonna scoot forward a few slides. Of another very missed Rotarian, another wonderful great man, Wilson Heyman. Each year we have a vocational service leadership award in honor of wonderful Rotarian Wilson Heyman. And this year's winner is Joseph Burmester. And next week he will visit our club, tell us about his work with Loaves and Fishes. And he was nominated by several members of our club, and there was a great group of nominees this year, all very, very deserving of this award. But thought that Joseph Burmester just stood out. So really excited to have him and really excited to honor our beloved Rotarian Wilson Heyman with this award next week. John Cates, can you join me up front as I go through upcoming meetings? So next week, we have Mike Lennon, April 15th is still on there, excuse that. Mike Lennon, who's going to tell us the story of NC State football to NFL football. And then the next week, we have on April 29th, Joe Malazio from the RTA, or Regional Transportation Alliance, will be here. Also, Charles Edwards is going to be back past president, so that'll be a fun meeting to have him join us with. So also, last week, our speaker encouraged us to reach out to people when we think about them. Racine Sinclair, who is a past district governor and past president of this club, welcomed a baby granddaughter here. I don't know if she's on Zoom, but congratulations, Racine. So if you think about her this week, reach out, say congratulations for this beautiful grandchild. What's her name? Everett McGee, that was born last week. As a boy, thank you. Sorry. Yeah. All right. John Cates, you have some fun golfing announcements for us.
Hey, it's good to see you guys today. A group of us, as you can see from the picture, former President Tom, myself, Braxton, and Captain Peter, played in the TNT Invitational to raise money for aphasia. And we had a great time. Now, there's a boys and girls tournament for the tournament for boys and girls home that will take place on June the 3rd. And Captain Peter is trying to raise some additional players for that tournament. So if you're interested in playing on June 3rd to raise money for the boys and girls home, reach out to me or Captain Peter. Thank you.
Thank you, John. As we go through the district events, could I have the people that have presentations for us? Tommy, you're gonna be up first with the raffle, and right after Tommy, Tom Holder, then Richard Averett with service, and then Harrison with membership. If y'all could go ahead and make your way up front. So district events. This weekend, on April 20th, there's going to be a ribbon cutting for the water balloon greenhouse that has been being worked on for the past month or so. So if you are so inclined and you're not going to be cleaning the street with us on Saturday, consider heading out to the Northfield Community Garden for that. And also district conference, May 17th through 18th, there's still time to register. I put a few deadlines up there. You need to register this week in order to get the discounted rate. We are also working on putting together, every club is working on putting together a gift basket to be given out as a door prize. And it would be wonderful if we have the best gift basket. We're not competitive at all, but you know, it'd be nice to have that. So before May 13th, bring in gift cards, something that showcases your business. Feel free to include a business card with your donation and contribute to that wonderful basket. So I believe it is time for this week's raffle. Tommy Keller.
We don't have a huge pot, but this week's been a bit of a grudge match. I think everybody's been hoping to knock off Peter, but I'd like to remind everybody before you judge Peter, that he's been so generous with a lot of the winnings that he's had. He's set a great example for our club. So while I hope he does not win this week, if he does, I will inwardly still celebrate a little bit. So I've got pulled by Harrison. So if this ticket is not yours, the blood's on his hands. 800-2927.
Congratulations. Thank you guys for supporting the raffle, and thank you, Peter, for being such a loyal supporter of raffle. Okay. Sorry. And then, Tom, when you're done, you can hand it right to Richard, and then Richard to Harrison.
Hello, everybody. Beautiful day outside. Good to see many of you. Two things on the agenda. A little bit of housekeeping we need to do as a club together. I'm gonna be your treasurer on July 1st. My second stint, David Forrest has done a great job. But Eric and Gary and I are gonna sit down and do the budget. In preparing to do that, I looked at some of our accounts receivable. I don't know how else to say it. We got a few on there, a little long, but too. I'd like to ask some of you to take a look when you get your bill from Linda. And if you need to address it, let's take care of it. And if there's an issue that you have a problem with, reach out to one of us that we work with. This is a Rotary member of this club 25 years. I've also been a member of the big downtown church. Done this from the whole church. It's good when you pledge. Checks need to come in. We do take debit and credit cards. We try to make it easy, get those points and dollars back. But all kidding aside, I need your help on that. Take a look at it, reach out to us if there's any situation we need to talk about. So thank you for listening to this carefully. Now, some fun. Richard Avery is the champion of the first NCAA women's bracket champion. Was on his heels, he came in second place is silver member and never. He got all the money. He won $625. $25 Rotary to participate. And in third place was Matt Bolton. So good job, guys, in your picks. Next year, we'll do it again. I mentioned this earlier, I'm into it if you want to do it. You do it in the club, we'll do it outside. Be the commissioner of an NFL, innocently, if you need to do it. I've done it with family members, I've done it with our children, so if you want to do it, you know, I'll get you the information. So,
Great.
Richard.
So this Saturday and Sunday, a project, we're at Lions Park with the street cleanup. I checked this morning, I think we have 12 or 20 spots filled, so please come out and 10 to noon. Bring some boots and some jeans and
Long sleeves.
grabbers for your gloves
Long sleeves.
and long sleeves, yes. A woman of experience here, long sleeves. And we can do some good damage in a couple hours. Again, it's a family friendly event, so please bring children to supervise. And then on Sunday, we'll be with Dementia Alliance and their annual walk fundraiser. This is a big event. It's very special to our member Heather Hooper. She does a wonderful job leading this organization. So I ask you to support us from 1 to 4. We've historically embraced this organization's project. So please, especially for first time members, it's a great way to get to know your fellow Rotarians. In May, we will have Habitat Bill. June, we'll be back at the Pocket, and then it's wash, rinse, repeat for 24-25. Thank you for everyone for your support.
Happy Monday, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Harrison Turner. For those who don't know me, I'm the head of our membership committee. And very happy to see the success that we've had in bringing on new members the past couple of weeks. We had 2 new members inducted last week, so let's just get up and we're going to do 3 this week. So if I could, can I please get Grace Mazzarelli, Michelle Stewart, as well as Amy Carter up front, and as well as Richard, John Cates, and Peter as their sponsors. And for those that are potential members or thinking about membership, I hope that you find today through our speaker today, what we do with Big Smile, as well as some of the upcoming events. This is an active Rotary Club that is looking for opportunities to advance goodwill in our communities, and we need more people to help that. So today, as we do these inductions, very excited to have our family group. So let's get started. Today we have the induction of Amy Carter, who is sponsored by Richard Avery, Grace Mazzarelli, who is sponsored by John Cates, and Michelle Stewart, who is sponsored by Peter Lori. Amy, Grace, and Michelle membership applications have been received and reviewed and approved in accordance with our club's constitution and bylaws, and will now proceed in admitting each one of you to the membership of Rotary Club Raleigh and the friendship of Rotary throughout the world. First, we have a few questions. Question number 1.
Will you join us as we strive to live a life of service above self?
Yes.
Question number 2.
Will you join us in our activities for service projects and fundraising activities in support of our community?
Yes.
And will you join us in supporting Rotary's efforts worldwide with the focus of these 7 areas: promoting peace, disease prevention, providing clean water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, economic and community development, protecting the environment?
Yes.
Beautiful. And fellow Rotarians, will you join me in fostering and supporting Amy, Grace, and Michelle as they join us in our pursuit of adding value to our communities through service above self? If you do, please say I do.
I do.
You have a wonderful family behind you here to support. And with that, I'm going to provide your sponsors with your Rotary info. John, you have to provide that to your new members. While they're doing that, Rotary Club of Raleigh, will you please join me in welcoming Amy, Richard, and Grace to the Rotary Club of Raleigh? I think we're gonna do a picture.
All back short of the front.
Right next to you.
He's on first.
John.
Yes. Last thing we'll talk about real quick is Service Social. It is on 4/25, so April 25th, 5:30 to 7. And we're going to be over at Stir, over at Six Works in the North Hills. We've been there before. It's beautiful weather. They usually open up that whole entire restaurant, so it'll be a great time. Please make sure to, as a potential member or new member, another great opportunity to get to know your fellow Rotarians. So please make sure to mark that on your calendar. We'll see you there.
Round of applause for Harrison. And welcome to the club, Amy, Michelle, and Grace. I'm really excited to do great things with you through Rotary. So I'm thrilled to have you guys as members. So before we have Sommer up here, I want to mention a few birthdays we've got coming up and an anniversary. So Cindy Roberts, and her birthday is today. I did not see her come in, but if she's on Zoom, happy birthday, Cindy. Jim Graham, birthday on the 16th. Where'd you go, Jim? There he is. Happy birthday. All right. And Chancellor Randy Woodson, his birthday is on the 20th. Randy and Donna Mounts, I did not see Randy today. They have an anniversary also on the 20th. So happy birthdays and happy anniversaries. So it is time for our annual update, or yearly update of one of our signature projects that the Rotary of Raleigh is involved in. And it is an honor to be able to introduce a new Raleigh Rotarian. She was inducted last week, and Executive Director of Make Smiles, Sommer. She makes her way up here. I'm going to read a brief bio of hers, and it's very brief. She's done a lot. This is just a little tidbit of what she's done. Sommer is a proud Tar Heel, graduating with her BS in dental hygiene from UNC School of Dentistry. I'll make an easy stage.
I mean, I have to go there too.
Okay. And prior to being in the dental profession, Sommer worked for 12 years in the nonprofit sector, both locally and globally. Her career in private practice, and now as Director of Waste Smiles, a free nonprofit dental clinic, is a perfect combination to keep her passion for dentistry and access to care alive. Sommer is also a member of the UNC Dental Hygiene Community Advisory Committee, serves as an adjunct clinical professor at UNC, and is on the board of the NC Association of Free and Charitable Clinics. When not consumed with all things teeth, she loves to spend time with her two sweet children, Finch and Ruby. It is an honor to have Sommer here. Will you please join me in welcoming her to the clinic?
I'm not trying to do this big mouth.
Down.
Down, see? I know it. Welcome, thank you so much for this time up here to speak to you. Some of you have heard about Wake Smiles before when presented, but a lot of you are new faces for me. So I'm thankful to be here. I was introduced, but I like to give a little background. It's always nice to hear who you're speaking from or listening to. I moved to North Carolina in 2006. When I first came, I was in ministry, and my question to people, well, their question, the kids' first question to me was, who do you cheer for, NC State or Carolina? And my response was, what colors are the teams? And that's how I based I was a Wolfpack fan, because red, you know, you can't be red. Except if someone did. Anyway, sorry. I was involved in church planting, that's why I went to North Carolina. I'm thankful for that time there. While I was there, I really felt compelled to reach people outside of the church building. So I started looking for work in the nonprofit sector and found Urban Ministries of Wake County, which I'm sure a lot of you have supported or know about. And I managed about 2,000 volunteers there, while trying to figure out if I wanted my master's in social work or I wanted to go back to school for dentistry, a lifelong passion. I truly wrote love letters to the tooth fairy. It's true, I have them from my mom. Went back to school, like she said, I was in private practice and volunteering weekly at Wake Smiles, seeing patients. And the day after I announced my second pregnancy with Ruby, I was asked to be their executive director. So I took on a lot as a mom of 2 kids under the age of 2. And that is mentioned, that is Ruby. So Wake Smiles, we have been established for about 23 years. And back in the day, we used to make shop in Urban Ministries, actually at Sommer, Seaport Station. And we would see people off the street, they would come in, we would extract some teeth, get them out of pain, and you're good, you're done. Now our clinic is a lot more expensive and mirrors what you hopefully go to every 6 months with your private practice. But that only really happened because the Rotary Club of Raleigh helped us get into a facility where we sit now inside of the Salvation Army building, right on Capitol Boulevard. We have been there since 2013, and we have 4 operatories that are beautiful. Everything's digitized, and patients get full round comprehensive care, and you'll learn about what we do. Our mission is to improve lives of under-resourced adults through better oral health. And we are thankful that we get to do that every single day by living those 5 values. Not only are our team, our staff, our volunteers living those values, but we hope that patients feel them and then they go outside of our clinic and live them as well. I asked our team at our staff meeting last, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, what is your favorite value and how do you display it in the workplace? And every one of them, we have 6 staff members, said compassion. Because I really feel that what I give to patients will last outside of the dental chair. And I love that answer, and I love that all of them said that, and all of them had a story accompanying the reason. I want to give you some insight about the patients we see. I hope that all of you are going to the dentist regularly. Okay, more than that, I hope you're flossing every day. Last week, we were challenged to reach into our phones and contact someone, was it every day or every week?
He did once a week, but he does every day.
Okay, he does every day. I won't even remember to do every day. So it said, if you think about someone, contact them. I want to challenge all of you to floss every day. It is not hard and it takes less time than reaching out to someone, I'm pretty sure. But our patient profile, I want to identify, this is actually a true patient, but this mirrors many of our patients that we serve. We do serve adults only, uninsured, and that live 250% under the federal poverty, which is set every year by the federal government. So this particular patient is a Hispanic woman, 43 years old, widowed when she came to us. She has 3 children, very young, I think the oldest is 11. She has 2 part-time jobs that equal full-time. However, you can see her monthly income is about $1,100. And that's working as much as she possibly can. Expenses, she lives in a one-bedroom apartment, it's $900 a month. It's not in a good part of town because you can't afford to live in a good part of town at $900 a month. Her food is $200 a month because she supplements with the food from the pantries in the community. She does not have a car, she rides a bus. So no gas. Medications, her son has a medication that's $20 a month. She has no real expensive childcare expenses, because her sister lives with her and helps her. And then, but still, that makes her total expenses, I can't see that far, at $1,200. So working full-time and doing the most she can, her income never reaches her expenses. This is a normal patient at Wakes Smiles. And so obviously, oral health care is not on that list as a need or necessity that she can afford. I'm going to tell a story about our friend Dave. Also, if you see behind it, those of you that have been to Wake Smiles, you prepped that wall and painted it repost gray by Sherman Williams. But we have a muralist that just did a really cool mural. You'll have to come by and see it. This is Dave. He was referred to us from Raleigh Rescue Mission. We partner with them, and they send their clients that are in their program. Their I think it's work housing program is the title. And he had been there for a while, but he had never been to a dentist in about 10 years when he sat in our chair. He is the most jovial, kind man. And he sat in our chair in a lot of pain. A lot of his dentition, there was no result other than extraction. Some we were able to complete at the clinic. I want to give you an idea of how cool and how many people participated in this gentleman's care. He came to us initially. We did all his preventive work. So the cleanings, the deep cleanings, they're called scaling and root cleaning. We did all his restorative work as far as fillings that you could get done at the clinic. We have a partnership with the Adams School Dentistry at UNC. And those dental students, the fourth year dental students came in supervised by a oral surgeon that's adjunct faculty. They did all his extractions at clinic. He then had to go to the oral surgeon to get something called alveoloplasty. I won't tell you what it is, because some of you may not be able to stomach it. I think it's really cool. And he got prepared for dentures. And then Dr. Bill Scruggs with NC Prosthodontic and Implant Specialist did his denture, upper denture, and lower partial acne cost. This patient's treatment would have been $20,000. But he was able to come to our clinic and have no cost associated with his care. And we're really thankful for Dave. He was done with us. And he came in, this picture is just a few photo. He came in just to show us his denture and how happy he was. So he wasn't smiling before, he sure is now. He said he got to eat a piece of steak and he was very happy. How do we accomplish our mission? We have 3 program focuses. So we have education, restorative, and preventive programs. And so I'm going to go into some detail about those. Slide. Our education program is kind of a 2-pronged approach. We have a lot of pre-dental and dental students that are going through school to become our future colleagues, our future caretakers in the world, and they are rotating at Wake Smiles. So we actually have the pre-dental students who will hopefully get into dental school or dental hygiene, dental assisting, whatever. But we also have the dental students rotating once a month, working on refugees. We just had a clinic on Saturday. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of facilitation that happens, but we're so thankful they come. We have the UNC 3rd year endodontic residents. Have anyone done root canal? These dentists go to school for at least 7 years to do the root canal. And they get to rotate at Wake Smiles to see our patients so they can save teeth. We've saved over 120 teeth doing that program. And then we have UNC hygiene students and Wake Tech hygiene and assisting students. So these are all future clinicians who are going through our clinic and seeing what public health is and seeing the real need in our community. Our hope is that they always have that social contract in them to give back regardless of where they practice. Along with that, we have a local anesthetic course. That's a Saturday. I won't be able to volunteer at that event. Sorry, I'm teaching that course. And we're teaching hygienists how to give local anesthetics. So if anyone needs numb, I'm your girl. I'll get you numb, no problem. I'm licensed to do so. And then We have our SOHIP program, which is our Systemic Oral Health Improvement Program, which works with uncontrolled diabetics to control their diabetes through oral health. That disease and periodontal or gum disease is directly linked. So if one is not great, the other won't be great. Same is true with hypertension, by the way. So if anyone has those issues and your oral health needs some love, I suggest going to that. Restorative program, we started an endodontic initiative about 2 years ago. That's those third-year residents coming and doing root canals. A wonderful specialist named Dr. Wong came and said, I want to write a grant for you to get a microscope so that you can do really like phenomenal root canals. We got that grant and we got a microscope. We now have 2. So we saved, like I said, 120 teeth. If you have a root canal in a private practice, that root canal alone will be $1,200 to $1,500. On top of that, you need a crown over that tooth, which is at least $1,200 to $1,500. So you're looking at about $3,000 to save 1 tooth. We are doing this in the cost. That is a beautiful patient we have served. We also have a denture program. A few years ago, I got a grant to get a digital scanner. Our space is small and we don't have a lab. We don't have a space for a lab, to be honest. And we now can scan, and we do this every week. We scan and provide dentures for patients. So we're replacing teeth that we maybe had to remove, as well as providing night guards. And actually soon we'll be implementing placement of crowns with that digital scanner. So more services for more patients. Our prevention program is exactly what it sounds like. We're preventing disease. The best age for prevention of dental disease is in your adolescence. So that's why we're pushing for our young children. This is why you're taking your kids hopefully to the dentist every 6 months. And even at 1 year old, you should take them to the dentist, which sounds crazy, but it's true. Although I didn't take mine till 3 because she's crazy and they would kick us out of there for sure. But this program, like I said, the best age for prevention is adolescents. We're seeing patients that are averaging about 45 to 65 years old. So that window is closed. But we can stop the progression of disease. So as long as we're putting in those things in place, we can stop things from getting worse. Dentistry is really expensive. It's 3 times the cost of medical care. Patients that come to us have probably never sat in a dental chair, or they haven't been in one in at least 10 years. And so the disease has progressed, and it takes a while to get their mouth at health, but we're doing it. I'll let you read those statistics. But it is interesting. I don't really love the word non-poor adults, but I'm gonna read this. 47% of adults living in poverty have functional dentition, whereas 83% of non-poor adults have functional dentition. So what are we doing? Half of the people they're not even half the people reaching functional dentition if they're in poverty. It's not okay. We have a prevention program where we have a full-time hygienist. I'm so thankful for her. She focuses on that oral and systemic health, and she gets people changing life habits. So what they learn at Big Smiles, they take with them and they prevent future emergencies. So she really pushes nutrition. She pushes exercise. She pushes oral health habits improvement. She pushes let's quit smoking. Like, she's phenomenal. We do an oral cancer screening at every visit. Oral cancer, just so you know, is almost 85% of cases are found in stage 4. When you go to your primary care provider, they might say, go, ah, and you say, ah, with a tongue depressor, and they don't look and feel and palpate your mouth. Oral cancer is usually undetectable because you don't feel it, and it's not painful, and you can't see it in a mirror easily. Dentists, every dentist that you have should be doing oral cancer screening. They need to be palpating your lip area. They need to be touching your tongue, the bridge of your mouth, and your cheek mucosa. If this isn't happening, you could be at risk. Our patients have gone years without care, so they're at high risk. And actually, we found 4 patients in stage 4 cancer. I'm happy to report all of them are in remission, but they were detected at Wake Smiles and we got them into a system of care. I have one of those gentlemen with me, and I've asked him to come and he's going to share a few words about his story and his journey. Christopher, I know he's never publicly spoken, so I love a microphone. I'm known, I became executive director of Big Smiles in 2019, and we're so happy that I am so thankful on standing beside me. So I'm gonna hand you this mic, and you can say what you feel you should say.
Really want to thank you for this morning, for everything. I don't sort of many of somebody, I take care of everything myself. It's happening. And my throat was bothering me, and I really didn't want to go to the word and that the baby. But it was bothering me, but I'm sure trusted like small so much that I'm allowing them. I really didn't do anybody else. And I know when I'm trying to fix it myself, it's anything I can think of. But once they examined it, they referred me to urban ministries that has had a community as well. And they did a biopsy, and that's where they found cancer. And it was pretty bad. I took the tonsils, it took them out. In the end, I had 42 staples in the neck, 4 inches, and stents. But it's all really thanks to Wake Smiles, being able to find it then. Because I'm such a hard-headed person, I would just let it continue until it was so bad that I had no other choice. I mean, it's not really like that. Because in finding it born today, everything I went through, it really, you just get through it, you just do it. But everybody's busy. I can't say how much they need to do. It's through COVID when I really had nobody to speak to or nothing. Actually looking forward to going to the beginnings. It's a new people. It's always the same thing. Because I didn't even want to involve with a minute. Just to have an interaction with everybody was so nice and took care of it. Don't find that everywhere. It's just grateful. I don't know what else to say.
You did.
When he came in, we did do, I think I did the oral cancer screening originally, saw something on his right tonsil area, called the dentist in, and it was a concern. At the time, he was actively a patient at Urban Ministries where we treat patients from. But he needed access to something called Project Access. Project Access makes sure people get specialty care at no cost. Well, that can take months. You can't wait months to see a lesion on a tonsil area. To biopsy that lesion, we needed to have an oral surgeon excise it, send it to UNC's biology lab. It was a nightmare, and it was going to take a long time. So they said, we can rush it through. Within, I want to say 3 weeks, you were diagnosed and getting treatment from that original lesion. And it wasn't just on one side, it was violent. So this was a huge, I don't even like the word success because I hate that you went through that, Christopher. But the timeline was a success of care. And this man rode is it a moped? I don't know what the word is, moped? Every day to get radiation in the winter weather, in the rain, in the cold. He never missed an appointment. During that time, we saw him every 6 weeks at Wake Smiles to do non-invasive dentistry. If you do invasive dentistry during chemo and radiation, it can actually cause necrosis of the bone. But your mouth dries out, you get really ill, you can't eat for months, remember? So we did something called silver diamine fluoride and helped restore his dentition so that wouldn't cause an issue and active infection during chemo. Christopher's a huge success story, but more than that, we are thankful we were there to intervene and start the process of healing, and he's killing it now. He's doing great. We're good friends, whether you like it or not. So thank you. Why do we need to exist? I think Christopher is a prime example of why we need to exist. But Wake County is growing. Look at all the construction. Look at all these beautiful buildings we built, housing. But there's still a crisis. There are still people without access to care. Though Medicaid expansion happened on December 1st, over 700,000 North Carolinians still do not get insurance. What are we doing for them? We had a list of 51 providers in Wake County that took Medicaid. We called 20 of them to say, hey, our patients are now on full Medicaid, so they can come to you for a dental appointment. What openings do you have? The first 20 had 0 appointments available. Whether they had 0 appointments or whether they just didn't want to participate with Medicaid reimbursements is up in the air. But we need to exist because people need help, and oral health should not be negated as it has been for many years. Also, as I mentioned, dental costs are 3 times the cost of medical care, and that's unaffordable. I've never had dental insurance. I just have to stay in the dental community so I can get my future crowns. And I'm definitely. In 2023, we saw over 3,000 patient visits, but with 900 individuals. Each patient averages about 10 visit needs. 4,000 hours were donated, whether that's a dentist, a dental assistant, pre-dental volunteer. The services that we don't provide at Wake Smile, so like a really invasive oral surgery or a crown and bridge, we service out into providers in the community that see those patients at no cost. That was valued at over $260K last year. And then the care we provided at Wake Smiles was $1.5 million. And so we've done a lot of good in the community. Actually, we deferred over $4.5 million from the ED last year alone. If you go to the ED and you're uninsured, to die.
Dentists and volunteer enough hours to keep all the boards here busy. Are you primarily counting that still on volunteer hours, or do you have dentists employed now?
That's a great question. COVID changed everything. Most of our clinics that we work with have a hybrid model now. So the medical clinics we work with, we're all volunteer, another hybrid, we're all staff, and we're mirroring that. So Wake County, through DHS, as the budget, funds our dentists 3 days a week, actually not fully funds, they about halfway fund our dentists. And that helped us tremendously to have the same person doing the treatment and planning for new patients. It's a continuity of care issue. And then, so right now we have a staff of 6. So we have 2 dental assistants, a full-time hygienist, a patient care coordinator, myself, and then an operations director, thank God, because I have 5 full-time jobs. I used to have 6 full-time, we took them. And so, thank goodness he's there because we're growing tremendously. And then we have that part-time dentist role. Everyone else is sprinkled in. We're functioning about 6 days a week. And she is there 3 days a week. So we're really, really busy. And actually, when she's there, we also have volunteer providers and the students that rotate through, which are all volunteers. So it's not even a full hybrid model. I'd say it's like a quarter staff, the rest is volunteer. Yeah.
So, assuming that the dentist will accept it, what dental services does expanded Medicaid cover? Is the first question, and I guess the second question is, can you all benefit from that for patients?
Expanded Medicaid coverage covers a lot for individuals, and I don't know the full scope. I've never worked with insurance ever in my life. Even when I was in private practice, it was a fee-for-service office, it was very fancy. We didn't make insurance claims, but I do know that a person pays a copay of $4 and they get a cleaning. I do know that includes deep cleanings, extractions, restorations. I also know that if they get a deep cleaning, the cleaning that's after that is called periodontal maintenance, it's not covered. So like that person's just gonna go back into needing that periodontal cleaning again, which is kind of negates the whole purpose. Prosthesis is partially covered if it's the right teeth. And they only do a resin, not a cast metal, which is superior. Obviously, like any advanced dentistry, ground bridge, all that. But I'm probably the worst person to answer it because I don't work with it that much. And then, will Wake Smiles ever accept Medicaid? I really hope not. And if they do, they have to have a new executive director because I don't want to deal with the government like that. Yeah.
How big is your budget, and do you have a deficiency every year, or are you able to meet your needs?
Our budget for this year is $713,000. I started in 2019 and it was, I think, 256,000, and it's grown, and no, we've never had deficiency. I'm really proud of that. I got a big head because my first, thank you. My first 4 years as ED, I got about 90% of the grants that I wrote. I didn't know that wasn't normal. It's normal to get about half of what you write. I learned that in my 5th year. That was a real hit to me. But I think it's because we haven't written a lot of grants, and they now people know about us in the community. So we have larger individual donors, which is really great. Private practices pledging me, and then we hold one big event a year, which will be on October 19th this year. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, how do most of the patients find out about you? You mentioned Urban Ministries.
We have 9 agencies that we partner with. So if you're an active patient in care at Urban Ministries, Alliance Medical Ministry, Neighbor Health, thank you for being here, and Marion Clinic, then you're receiving primary care services through them and probably mental health, other resources. And then they refer them to us as their dental component. We work with the homeless community shelters as well. So those that are unhoused, we're working with those shelters to get people into care. We actually work with League Med as well. They have a community health clinic that services individuals that have frequented the ED. They get them into case management, we're the dental component of that, as well as the substance use recovery centers. So those individuals that are in the good track of substance use recovery, they come to us for care. So there's 9 agencies we work with. We would love to take more, and we hope to with an expansion, but we have no capacity to do that right now. Yes, sir.
Sommer, how many patients may England County utilize your decision are going to surge in the future? With that, what is Wake Smiles' future goals for expansion?
in the next 10 years? Oh, man, I'm a visionary. You don't want to ask me that because it's outlandish. Your first question was, how many do we hope to serve?
How many are going to serve?
What's the gap?
Well, I'm not quite sure, of the statistic right now, but I can tell you, and I'm not exaggerating, we get 30 calls a day for someone needing help. And then we get 70 referrals a month from the agencies we're partnered with, and they have wait lists for us. How many, do you know how many, off the top of your head, I'm sure you do, how many patients do y'all serve? 7,000, and you're a federally qualified listener, so you have some Medicaid and stuff in there, private insurance. I know that Alliance has, I think they have 1,900 patients, I wanna say. We're the only dental those patients can have, so multiply that. I think with expansion, we can see for comprehensive care, 40% more, and I think for urgent care needs a lot more than that. My goal is to see a dentist in there just fixing things like this. There are dentists that are like, and then as far as where do I see this in 10 years, what I would really love to see is that it's in the same facility as a primary care clinic. I would love to see someone get diagnosed with diabetes and be able to walk down the hall and get an oral health assessment. And on the way, find out food resources for their family. Oh, and maybe some mental health care for their kids. I would love to see that. I think that it's, the mouth is part of the body. I don't know why they separated it and why they haven't put it back together. That's what I would like to see. Don't forget tonight to floss. Floss, they're out of print.
Well, thank you so much for coming, and you have a collection of these.
I do.
You do, so I think what we're gonna do, Christopher, are you in need of a mug? Thank you so much for coming. Get that to Christopher. And we have a Rotary baseball cap that I'll bring for you next week. So thank you so much for coming this week. Just another round of applause for Sommer. Your energy and enthusiasm for Wake Smiles is definitely infectious, and it's an honor that the Rotary Club of Raleigh can be a part of that journey, and we're excited to continue partnering with you in future years and your fantastic vision for the future. So, everybody, can you all rise with me and join the four-way test? Congratulations again to Amy, Michelle, and Grace on your membership, and all our guests. Thank you so much for coming and visiting us. So, all Rotarians, can you repeat after me, four-way test? And the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill, other friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Meeting adjourned.